There's also plenty of movement activity in the transfer market with that first bonus transfer window closing on Tuesday. Mark McAdam is back, and we've got some new news regarding a potential incoming for Arsenal.
Yeah, huge news for Arsenal fans.
Eberechi Eze steps into Arsenal's world, and the weight of the number 10 shirt immediately wraps itself around him, not as a burden but as a crown that confirms the trust, the vision, and the artistry that Arsenal expect from him. The Emirates Stadium has always reserved the number 10 for players who transcend the ordinary, players who create magic out of nothing, who carry imagination in their boots and courage in their hearts. It is the shirt Dennis Bergkamp once wore, the number that Mesut Özil carried in a time when Arsenal still searched for beauty in every pass, the shirt that Jack Wilshere once embodied when he represented the heartbeat of the academy, and the number that most recently belonged to Emile Smith-Rowe, who now watches as the next chapter begins. Arsenal do not hand out this number casually, and when Eze walks into the dressing room and sees the red shirt with white sleeves, the golden Premier League patches and that bold number 10 on the back with his name above it, he knows he is stepping into a new realm where history and expectation collide. The fans had debated for weeks, speculated endlessly about what shirt number Eze would take if he joined Arsenal, because numbers at this club are not just digits, they are identities. They speak to the role a player is meant to embody, they carry with them echoes of past legends and the pressure of future performances. For Eze, there is almost poetic justice in the fact that he wore number 10 at Crystal Palace, dazzling Selhurst Park with mazy dribbles, sudden bursts of skill and the kind of vision that can unpick a stubborn defense in an instant. To carry the same number into Arsenal means continuity, means authority, means that Mikel Arteta sees him not as a supporting act but as a star, a centerpiece, someone who must create alongside Martin Odegaard but in his own unique way. The fans know what the number 10 means, and as soon as the Arsenal store puts up the shirt for sale with Eze 10 printed across the back, supporters rush online and in person to make it theirs. The image of Eze unveiling the shirt spreads everywhere on social media. Clips of him juggling the ball with a smile on his face while wearing that number explode across feeds. Arsenal fans declare it a statement, rivals mutter in envy, Tottenham fans gnash their teeth because they know their club wanted him too, but Arsenal got there first, and not only did they sign him, they handed him the most symbolic number of all. Arsenal's relationship with the number 10 is complex, because it is not just about statistics, it is about artistry. Bergkamp redefined it in England, taking the number away from just being a playmaker into being a footballing poet who could sculpt goals with touches that belonged in a gallery. Özil carried it into the 2010s, a player of vision whose assists were like brush strokes, who divided opinion but always carried elegance. Smith-Rowe had the number as a symbol of the academy's faith in him, the Croydon De Bruyne who once lit up the Emirates with his youthful energy. But the shirt has been waiting for someone new, someone who can blend flair with consistency, creativity with decisiveness, artistry with strength. He steps into that role naturally, not trying to be Bergkamp, not trying to be Özil, not trying to be anyone else, but bringing his own brand of creativity, unpredictable, unorthodox, improvisational, yet devastating. The Emirates has always craved entertainers, and in Eze the crowd see someone who can make them rise from their seats with a feint, a flick, a swivel of the hips, a curling shot into the top corner. Wearing number 10, every touch carries extra significance. The rivalry dimension adds fire to the story, because Tottenham were circling too. They saw in Eze a player who could transform their midfield, and their fans dared to dream of him wearing white at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Instead, he crosses North London to wear red and white, and to add salt to Spurs' wounds, he takes the number 10 shirt, a direct symbol of Arsenal's intent to make him their jewel. For Arsenal fans, It feels like déjà vu of the old rivalry where the biggest talents chose them over Spurs, and the banter explodes online. Memes of Eze in number 10, captions of North London is red, mock videos of Spurs transfer failures, the Arsenal fan base revels in it. Tottenham's missed opportunity now becomes Arsenal's gain, and every time Eze dribbles past a defender in training videos, Arsenal's social media engagement surges. The number 10 shirt at Arsenal is not just a shirt, it is a narrative, a weapon, a declaration that they still represent artistry in the Premier League, and Eze becomes the embodiment of that. On the pitch, the number carries tactical implications. Wearing 10 signals where Eze will play, not just in a formation chart but in responsibility. He will float between the lines, link with the guard, drift into half spaces where he can turn and accelerate. In transition, he will be the player who carries the ball forward, breaking lines with his dribbles and giving Saka and Martinelli more freedom. The fans watch pre-season friendlies and see him combine with Jesus, Odegaard and Rice, and it feels natural, as if Arsenal have unlocked a new dimension. The number 10 fits him not only symbolically but technically, because his style is made for it. Every touch is expressive, every movement is designed to unsettle defenses. Arsenal's history with iconic numbers always creates a weight of expectation, but for Eze, it feels more like destiny than burden. He grew up admiring creative players, he always had the flair of a street footballer blended with the discipline of an academy graduate, and now he steps into the shirt of legends. The Emirates crowd, so often demanding and restless, give him the warmest ovation when his name is announced with the number 10 beside it. They know they are watching the start of a new chapter. The commentators seize on it too, repeating Eze, Arsenal's new number 10 as if stamping it into the narrative of the Premier League. Rival fans cannot ignore it either. The moment he produces a moment of skill or scores a spectacular goal, the internet floods with clips captioned "This is why Arsenal gave him the 10." But Arsenal fans also know that this shirt is not just about glory, it is about responsibility. The number 10 is expected to produce consistently, to carry games, to be decisive when the team is struggling. They remember how Özil was criticized when performances dipped, how Smith Rowe was questioned when injuries slowed him down, and they know the spotlight on Eze will be intense. Yet that is exactly what makes it dramatic, because Eze thrives on expression, on pressure, on proving people wrong. He has always played with a smile, with a confidence that suggests he does not fear the stage. Now the stage is bigger, the theater is grander, and the number on his back magnifies every action. Every detail adds to the spectacle. The sight of Eze walking out of the tunnel, lining up with Saka on one wing, Martinelli on the other, Odegaard slightly behind, Rice anchoring the midfield. Arsenal fans imagine the combinations, the 1-2s, the flicks, the quick rotations that can tear apart Premier League defenses. They imagine Champions League nights under the lights, Eze in number 10 creating a moment of genius against European heavyweights, continuing the legacy of Arsenal's tradition of artistry on the continental stage. They imagine him against Spurs in the derby, the number 10 shining against the white shirts, scoring or assisting as Arsenal dominate their rivals. In the modern game where shirt numbers are still linked with branding and marketability, Eze as Arsenal's number 10 also boosts his personal profile. The shirts fly off the shelves, kids begin to copy his celebrations, the Eze 10 branding becomes a commercial success. Arsenal understand the business side as well as the sporting side, and having Eze wear 10 is a commercial masterstroke too, because creative players always sell shirts, and Arsenal fans are hungry for a new hero in that role. The echoes of the past always hover. When Eze scores his first goal in the number 10 shirt, the commentary boxes and fan channels compare him to Bergkamp, to Özil, to Wilshere. They say he brings something different, a hybrid of dribbling flair and directness that Arsenal have not had in the number 10 since perhaps the days of Bergkamp. Some purists will argue the comparisons are premature, but that is the nature of the number. It invites constant scrutiny and constant comparison. The fans debate endlessly online, but what unites them is the excitement of seeing a player of such flair wearing such a symbolic shirt. The Tottenham dimension keeps fueling the narrative, because every time Spurs struggle to create chances, their fans are reminded of what they missed. Every time Eze shines for Arsenal, the contrast grows sharper. Arsenal fans enjoy every second of this, because football is not just about results, it is about rivalry, about one-upmanship, about proving dominance beyond the pitch. To steal Eze and hand him number 10 is the ultimate flex, a statement that Arsenal still attract the best creative players in the country. The season builds, moments accumulate, and slowly the number feels natural on Eze's back. The fans no longer question who should wear it, they see Eze as the rightful owner. Children at the Emirates wear Eze 10 shirts proudly, commentators speak of him as Arsenal's best signing.